Good morning, everyone. My name is Anne-Marie Band. Today is Friday, April the 28th. It is the last trading day. April day, 30 days, that's September, April, January. Yes. Today's the last trading day of April. It's also very newsy. Going to be a really choppy day, folks. We want to be really careful watching our edges. This first section here, of course, is just going to be on the futures. We'll take a look at them. For the ES, we did see a very big bounce off the baseline of support. This was what I expected. It ran a lot hotter than I expected it to, but that goes to show how many people are short that have to buy to cover. And this is really the case. Now, we have cross currents of information coming across, and because today is going to be newsy and it is the last trading day of the month, it's gonna I want to caution you to say, hey, listen, watch your size and then wait for the levels. Okay, so what might those levels be coming to the baseline event if we do dip? All right, my suspicion is that 4130 is going to be something very important for traders to hold. You can see why, right? Old resistance, new support, broken support, recovered support. A lot of traders looking for that. Notice also we had first high, low, higher high, higher low, and then all of a sudden a lower high, lower low, and a retest of the old high. I think we're still sideways here until the Fed comes in, tells us what they have going on. So that being said, levels today, watch for the fades on the releases coming in at 8:30 to bring us down to this 4130. If it collapses, let it try to recover. Use the floor of the formation in a rounded pattern to tell you where your bounce zone is. Then you have defined risk. You can take the trade and run it up the flagpole. A lot of people are thinking, hey, listen, this market's going higher. I don't think it is. I think we're going to chop right around this zone. Now, if I'm wrong, what are we going to see? We're going to see the breach of 4156 to 4158. That's going to bring in a whole new group of buy to covers because they're sellers sitting right up here at that 4156 to 4166 area. And it spiked into that 4166 after Amazon came in and then just absolutely collapsed. What would I like to see? I'd like to see it come back to 4110, 4112. That's my estimation of a heavy congestion space in general. But I have no idea what portfolio rebalancing is going to do, and certainly I do not know what the zero DTE traders are going to try and do today. My line in the sand is 4130. If I lose it and I bounce, but I cannot get back up over 4145, I'm going to look for short action. If I pull back and I bounce and I hold that 4130, I'm going to go long action into 4144, 4154, and then 4166 one more time. All right, that's really what I'm looking at for the ES. Let's take a look at the NQ. NQ is looking a little bit weaker. We can see the monthly formation. Here we are sitting inside of last month, whereas the ES is now above that space. But in the weekly formations, we really are right inside and up near the top of the prior week. So I saw a post on Twitter earlier. It said something like, there are about 8 or 9 stocks that are really holding up the entire S&P 500. That might be true, might not be true, but obviously some of them are sitting in the NAS in terms of overall weight. What are we looking at? Well, we've got a gap down, and it's a pretty good gap down, right? So this was yesterday's close, all the way up here, 13,260. That's going to be the line in the sand we want to see a breach if price action is going to go higher. And where should it go? into the high of last week and a little bit higher. So maybe that's 13,320. Now, from here, 13,250, 13,260, where are the traders getting that congestion event? Well, it's a little messy, right? It's sitting right here in this zone that looks like where they're battling right now, which is 13,190. My thought is the following. The low tick is somewhere around 13,170. If we lose that level and it does not immediately bounce, when it does bounce, it should give us a lower high and it'll give us a really solid fade into the day. Could be a very nice trending day to the south. That's going to make the TQQQ look really, really nice if you're looking at that. Now, we do have news. What do I anticipate? Sideways motion today. I really cannot tell direction because this is a very big candlestick, and right now we're looking at inside formations. And if I go back 2 candlesticks prior, my baseline event's all the way down at 13,020. So that doesn't really tell me too much, but I do believe stepping down back into the 13,070 is where that one's going to go. Let's take a look at the RTY very quickly. We're going to see the RTY is still in a ton of trouble. It's not holding very well. It opened up. It did not gap down, but retraced fairly lowly. Could it be sideways? Yes, I do believe it is. I think it's going to be sideways. There's a lot to get worked out in here. So what do we want to look for? If it comes down into 1742, look for buyers to try to come in there. For this particular formation to get bullish at all, we would need to be above 1753. You can use your opening tick formation, but if we get above 1753 and then we pull back and we hold 1745, which is really where we're trying to hold right now, that's going to be a bounce pattern, going to be able to take us into 1760. The last thing I want to look at, because we've had so much Forex news, is what's going on with gold. Now, I have talked about this before, saying, hey, listen, I think the dollar trade is overheated, and when the dollar begins to bounce, it's going to bring gold down, and gold has been coming down ever since it hit that 2050-ish area, right? Well, 2045. What are we looking at? 1974 to 1950. I'm looking for the baseline event around 1950 all the way down to 1900. So watch that edge. Buyers look like they want to come in. They're holding a floor. So that's really important to notice. You don't want to just short this simply because, right? If you're looking for a short, wait for it to retest 2000, 2006, lose the edge, and then trade the 20 points down to that area. No need to be any kind of hero here. Buyers are still holding the floor here. They're still holding the floor. Folks still think the dollar's going to roll over some more. The de-dollarization story is just so big, so overblown, and it's just getting very much a consensus trade, and that's going to make people tip and move it into the other direction. All right, that is all we're going to look at for the futures.